Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid, episode 7. We're going to be watching Big Sisters today, which aired September 30th, 1993. I am, of course, Jake.
I'm still Josh.
Neither of us know what this episode's about. I can't remember. So
I have a vague idea, but I don't know if it's just my brain saying, oh, it's called Big Sisters, so it must be about this, and it's making up its own story in my head.
Right,
So...
and there are so many Power Rangers episodes that any of them could be true.
Right, yeah.
You could just say a plot, and it might be an episode of Power Rangers, as long as you add a monster in somewhere.
Yeah.
I assume it's going to be about sisters, one of whom will be older or larger.
Before we watch it.
Okay.
I think it's like Kimberly and Trini.
Or like a Big Sisters program.
In like a Big Sisters program,
I think that might be it. Because I also vaguely remember a plot, but I don't know if I do, or if now I do.
I was really hoping it was going to be the Billy Kimberly swap.
No, that's episode 10, I believe.
And we're on 7.
7. So
still coming up soon. That'll be fun.
Yeah. So
this might be fun too. This will probably be fun.
Probably.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. So and before we watch the episode, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pause the episode, pause this episode that you're listening to. We're gonna pause the recording. Then we're gonna watch an episode of Power Rangers.
It's gonna be a pausecast.
No, boo. We pause the recording. We watch an episode of Power Rangers. We come back. We talk about it. That's the general formula. Before we do that, I'd like to say this is the first episode of recording after the podcast is up.
Yeah.
And there are definitely up to 12 people that listen to it. We're not sure because the way it's impossible to track it. We're going to watch the episode now. Watch it along with us if you have Netflix or it on DVD or, if you just YouTube it. Probably.
It's out there.
I mean, I'm not saying that you should, but I can't stop you at this point.
Yeah.
You're so far away and so far in the future that we can't stop you. So we're going to do that. I guess you could say that it's Morphin time.
And we're back.
We just watched Big Sisters. It was a pretty short episode. It felt really
that
quick.
Wasn't just me.
Yeah.
All right.
So before we get into the episode, a little business. Number 1, our website is morphingrid.tumblr.com. Our email is littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. And lastly, our Twitter is @morphingrid. So those are the places that you can get more of us. We're not super active on Tumblr yet. We're going to try to fix that this week.
We're still working on the Tumblr.
We wanted to get the episodes up. We want the podcast first.
We're really excited about this podcast.
Yeah. So now on to what you guys paid. Good,
before we start, I want to...
Or not.
I don't know if we talked about this in the beginning because I don't remember, which is funny because you're the one who takes all the notes and I'm the one who can't remember anything. But I want to send a thank you out to Nerdy Show.
Yes,
for tweeting about us.
For tweeting about us to their fans.
Which you may be one of.
Yeah.
If you're not one of the 2 that we were reaching before.
It's 2+. It could be at the 12.
Anywhere between 2 to 12.
Who knows? Maybe more, and it just doesn't understand how to get those people.
Right. So I just want to thank Nerdy Show. Go check them out.
Yeah, it's my favorite podcast. It has been since 2009, mid 2009. I listened to them back when they were on the radio. That's how long I've listened to them. So,
what is that?
Oh, it's this old building somewhere in any given town that sends out radio waves to cars, I guess.
I just listen to my phone in my car. I don't understand.
I don't even have a car. On to the episode now.
Yes.
Okay, we start out with a voiceover. It's just a static shot of the juice bar, and
it's not static. There's people walking outside.
There? Okay, but it's still an outside shot of Kimberly and Ernie talking. We cut inside. Okay, Kimberly was looking for a little girl,
Maria.
We didn't know her name yet, though.
No, she said... Oh, no, we didn't yet. She asked Ernie if he saw the little girl with the black pigtails.
Yeah, and then Trini was like, Maria, where are you? because she's hiding in this juice bar that has no walls.
Well, Trini goes right up to Billy, and very casually is just like, "Hey, have you seen Maria?" Because Billy knows all about Maria. Because Trini told him.
Because they talk on the phone at night.
Till like 1 in the morning.
Till like 1 in the morning.
It's like, no, you hang up.
No, they're not though.
I don't want to hang up. You hang up.
Because Trini would just hang up.
Trini would be like, okay, see you in class.
Bye. Click. So Jason and Zach are sparring.
Shirtless
Zach, who is ripped.
He's pretty put together.
That dude has done a lot more sit-ups than I have. Walter Jones, good for you. You look good.
It's all that hip-hop keto.
We should start.
He should release a DVD. I'd buy it.
Just you, though.
Just me, probably.
No,
I doubt just me.
I'm sure dozens of people would buy it. Hundreds, maybe. Then cut to a hand that looks like it's an old guy's hand. I don't know if that was just me. Not like an old guy, but like it looked like it was my hand.
Right. Right, on the water.
Yeah, on the water
sprocket,
valve.
Whatever that is. What's a sprocket?
A sprocket is a prince of a machine empire.
Also, is a toad the wet.
The toad, comma, the wet. I don't know what a sprocket is.
Anyway, it's a water valve.
It's a water valve. It's not, it might be a sprocket. We don't know, but it's a valve. And this dude's hand turns it off. But it's Maria. Because I'm assuming they just needed to stand in.
What if it was actually that little girl's hand?
She has...
Her hands have... Jack disease.
Just her hands.
Just her hands. Just old hands.
Oh, Jack's the saddest movie I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, the end still gets me.
Yeah. Okay, we're not going to talk about Jack because then we'll just cry the whole time.
This would be a crycast.
So she turns off the water valve and like 40 naked dudes.
There's like 6.
There's way more than 6. There's at least 10. How big is this shower? We've never seen it.
And it's right outside the juice bar.
It's on the other side because it's also a gymnasium.
Because it's also a gym, and the lockers are in that hallway.
Yeah,
it makes sense now that I
think about it.
It's a locker
room, I imagine, but it's got to be like.
But it has a shower in it. Locker rooms have showers.
Yeah, and it's going to be huge because there's like literally 10 or 12
guys. The
guys.
whole football team is in the shower.
They all ran out. Most of them had chest hair, so they were at least upper high school level.
Yes,
kids, and then they have various states of shampooed. One guy has like a crown of shampoo on.
I think one of them had that towel turban going on.
Did he? Because I guess it was the hot water that she turned off.
So it was freezing cold.
So it was freezing cold. Or she turned the cold water off, which is the thing you can't do.
I don't think.
So I'm assuming
she turned off the hot water.
The hot water off. They ran out because their nips are freezing. And then we're going to jump into our only segment. And this is going to be a 2-parter.
Does she change?
Part 2 is later. She does.
Oh.
So part 1.
Good thing you noticed.
Kimberly is... Come on. So part 1, Kimberly is wearing a pink t-shirt, a vest, a pink vest, and plaid short shorts. And then for a minute, I thought it was like a onesie. Like a vest onesie. Right. Because the back of her vest is the same pattern as her shorts. So that
would have been an awkward piece of clothing.
It would have been really weird. Like it's short, it's regular shorts, but then with with
a vest that comes up the back of it.
Yeah, it's like all attached, and so you have to wear a regular shirt, but then you put that on over it. I don't know. It's not.
Thankfully, it's not that monstrosity.
And then she's just wearing pink socks and regular white shoes. We're gonna come back to this later because she does change. This is the first time I've noticed her changing clothes. Between during the course of one episode.
I didn't notice. I thought she was wearing the same thing.
She was not. So
I'm excited for later now.
Yeah. So then we cut back to Rita, which we have cut to once before at this point for like 1 second.
So she could go.
No, that was later.
Oh, right.
So we it cuts to Rita and she's like, "Oh, the Power Rangers." Then it cuts back down. Then it cuts back down to I think that's like Maria turns the valve. Naked guys run out of the shower. Go up to Rita. Oh, the Power Rangers. Go back down.
It was probably not just, the Power Rangers. Like, I hate those Power Rangers.
It was not. It was really short. It was like 10 seconds. So then we cut back down to the Power Rangers with Trini going, Maria, what are you doing? And she's like, I just wanted you to notice me. And it's like, there's two of us.
They've been searching for her for however long.
And there are two... Okay, the reason it's called Big Sisters is because they have taken guardianship of this girl for, like, the afternoon, like, in a Big Sisters program.
In a Big Sister program, so we were right.
So we were right. We made an educated guess, and it turned out to be correct. But here's the thing. It's two girls. It's Trini and Kimberly are both the big sister of Maria.
Yes.
I've never seen that before.
I've never been in a Big Sister program, so I wouldn't know.
Neither have I, but in my high school, we did have one.
Yeah.
And I wasn't in it because I had a real little brother that I had to watch after school every day. So I couldn't watch someone else's kid because I had to watch my own little brother. So
we didn't have a big sibling. We had best buddies.
Best buddies?
Yeah.
What's that?
Same thing.
Same thing? That's cool. So, like, as far as I remember, it was one big sister per little sister and one big brother per little brother. It wasn't like a twofer.
Right.
But there are two of them watching Maria.
Well, because her dad just doesn't understand.
No, obviously. You know, you get it. That's what she said to Kimberly.
Who's the raddest boy? They're all dorks.
She's like, they're all dorks. And then this is when Kim... This is later. This is after... This is my notes. Go
Did
forward.
I jump us ahead?
Way ahead. But that's
Okay.
fine because Kimberly reminds me of my older sister's friend, Kim. Who I also had a crush on when I was like 4. Maybe there's a reason why. Maybe I'm just attracted to the name Kimberly, or at least at that point I was.
So Kimberly's listening.
Kimberly.
Check out the Tumblr. Maybe there's a picture of Jake if you're into beards.
This is out of control right now. So we cut back to Rita after all the naked guys run out, and then they chastise Maria. Like, why'd you do that?
They don't. They go up to her. They're like, "We're not mad. We just want," because that was
They were
hilarious to them.
because she says, like, I just wanted you to notice me, but like there's two of them paying attention to her. How much attention does this little girl need?
A lot.
How bad is her home life that she like
The worst.
Two people.
Jake, her dad doesn't understand.
All right, I get it. I've never been a little girl with a single father, so it's probably a lot different than how I grew up. Anyway, then we cut back to Rita, and she's like, we got to get the power eggs. The ancient power eggs, which are in a chest.
Yes.
Which is on a pentagram surrounded by bottles.
By like Bunsen burners
Yeah,
or some kind of
like
lab
beakers and stuff,
beaker
yeah.
with foaming liquid in it, with like
some,
dry ice in it.
Some phlebotomy is in it.
So, and then she tells Squat to grab it.
Yeah, and he goes to, and then it lights up with 90s static.
The
like,
colors of the Power Rangers, oddly enough.
Well, they're power eggs.
They're power
but
eggs.
the floor of it, the pentagram area, pentacle.
Oh, yes.
That is like when you turn kids a long time ago, when television used to come over the air.
That doesn't even make sense.
You could go to a channel that didn't exist.
Right,
So
and
there's
it would just be white and black dots.
There were some channels that weren't, and and that's what it looked like. That's what this looked like for like a second. And she's like, "Oh, right, we need to get a kid to do it."
Oh, gross! Ugh.
But also, important development: Goldar is back.
He's not back. He found his voice.
He found his voice, which we didn't realize for a little bit because he's like, "Shut up," or like, "Oh." He only makes it go 2 syllables tops.
But he has lines in this episode.
Yeah, and so we're like, oh man, that kind of sounds like him. Maybe it is. And then later on, surprise, it is.
So this is episode 7 on the DVD.
Yeah.
Where Goldar finally sounds like himself. This was, what, the 16th episode that aired?
Yes, it was the 16th episode. And if it wasn't the 16th episode that aired, because I only looked as far as Green with Evil. I didn't look past that.
Right.
But it was the one that aired right before Green with Evil because it aired September 30th, which was like 2 weeks after the last one, which 10 days apiece. So, and Green with Evil is the 17th episode. Not the 15th like I thought, but that's fine.
It's the 15th on the DVD set, isn't it?
No, it's 17th.
I thought it was 15 through 20.
Maybe it is on the DVD. We'll find out.
When we get there.
When we get there. Right, only a child can open the box. So they're like, we got to get a child. I know. Give me the chunky chicken.
Well, she goes to Finster first, and she's like, I need a big, gross, nasty monster who's going to be able to get a kid.
Get me the chunky chicken.
No, she goes, you know. And Finster's like, oh, I got a chunky chicken ready to go.
No, she says chunky chicken.
She does, but first... she just says, oh, you know.
Yeah, she's, oh, you know. Give me the chunky chicken.
But he giggles because he does know.
Yeah, because he said, oh, I have one ready. If they were thinking, there could have been 100 chunky chickens running around. Power Rangers couldn't handle that.
No.
That would never work. So he has one ready, which kind of proves that like he has a bucket of monsters, or maybe that her sketchbook that she had in that one episode is.
I feel like the sketchbook comes back too.
It does, but we've already seen it once.
Yes,
and I feel like she's like, oh, I had this idea for a monster, make them whenever so we have some in the bank.
Yeah, right.
So we can just throw it in the Monster-matic and send it after Power Rangers. This is when we cut back down to the picnic.
Okay.
Because, and I know this, because there is some terrible ADR going on for Maria. ADR, for those of you who don't know, is automated dialogue replacement. It's basically when like you record the sound when you're filming. And if it's really windy or it's loud or something happened to the sound files, you go back into a studio and you watch yourself talk and you try to match it. And
that sounds very stressful.
Yeah, I mean, it can be. Some people are very good at it. Some people are not. Whoever did Maria either was because it wasn't Maria, because Maria only had ADR dialogue. Like,
right.
All of her stuff sounded like an old lady saying it. So either the woman was pretty good at it because she matched it all perfectly, or the girl that did play Maria was terrible at acting and then pretty bad at giving ADR. And then the matching of it just wasn't great because it would definitely sound canned. It sounded like they did it in a studio and they blared it over the top. But it's 1993. I don't know how good the technology was back then. But there's just a lot of it going on. Then they're attacked by putties. Because Kim's like...
Well, here's what got me. Rita said, make me a monster that can go get a child.
Then she sends the putties.
She sends the putties to go get the child.
It's a distraction, diversionary tactic.
But, like...
Because the chicken did get Maria.
But the putties captured her.
Oh, yeah, no, you're right.
The putties warped away with Maria.
This is some weird... This is weird. Because this is just like, we got this Japanese footage we got to match.
Which they had to dress Maria...
like
to match the Japanese footage.
Yeah. It happens again in...
It happens a lot.
The only other time I can vividly remember it is in Turbo. The second half of Turbo.
Right.
When after the changing of the guard, I know for a fact there's one girl dressed like the Sentai counterpart of the little girl. I don't know any other times it happens off the top of my head, but I'll take your word for it that they're there.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, if you watch the special features, they do more than just dress kids to match it. Like, if there's a red car in the Japanese footage, they bring in a red car.
So, yeah, the thing in the special features is, like, they specifically say, like, if you can match footage, you've done it. You've done your job. Like, that's what the directors needed to do the most, was match footage. So, like, they went to some pretty crazy lengths to do that, including dressing children up like other children and, like...
Well, they got a white American girl to play a Japanese child.
Yeah, well, she seemed some sort of Hispanic, which is outside the realm of possibility.
When they were casting for Maria,
California,
they had to limit it to black-haired children of a certain height, probably.
Right, with a certain length hair. Yeah. Yeah, they were casting a little girl who looks like this.
Yeah.
So they probably just posted the picture somewhere. Like, if your kid looks a little bit like this...
It could have just been that Maria, the actress,
just
the
looked
kid
the closest.
was a terrible actress, and all of her voiceovers are somebody else. Then.
Right, that makes sense. But anyway, back to the putty fight. They kidnap Maria, but Kimberly kicks one over, or maybe it was Trini, and it made the noise that they make.
Kimberly did that one. That's the one she did like a back handspring into a flying split at him.
Flying split, yeah, and kicked one, and it made the same noise that happens whenever they knock Skull down.
Right.
So Josh said, "Oh, that one must have been Skull."
A little domestic dispute. Well, we'll get to that later.
Easy, kid. Okay. Then we cut back to after Maria is kidnapped by the putties. Under the command of Junkie Chicken, maybe?
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
We cut back to the Power Rangers not the whole Power Rangers. Jason, Billy, and Zach.
Right.
And Ernie has this vat of ice cream. It's like
17 sundaes in one giant bowl.
It looked like a banana split.
It had a lot of bananas in it.
But it might have been a banana split, but it also might have been 17 banana splits.
Right.
Because it was at least like 10 gallons of ice cream.
I really like this part. Because Zach ordered this. This is for Zach.
Yeah, this is just for Zach.
And Jason, this is great because this is what shows that they're best friends to me. She's like, you can't eat that.
You're not going to eat that.
There's no way you're going to eat that. And Billy's just like watching. Because he's still like trying to fit in, I guess.
Because he
he just wishes Trini was there because he feels so awkward with these two muscle heads
who have been best friends their whole life.
Right.
Yeah, Ernie is like, here you go. I'll get your guys' stuff in a second. Like after he hands it to Zach, and it's like it's this giant bucket of ice cream. I don't know how he has abs that good if he's just piling those down.
Because every time he orders one of those, he has to go fight a monster. He never gets to eat them.
He's hungry. a lot of pained ab crunches. Oh, I'm so hungry.
All right, so this is when Kimberly and Trini come in. They're like, guys, we can't find Maria.
No, they're not like we can't find her. The putties took her.
Okay, right. Yeah. That's right. See, I told you I should be taking notes.
You definitely should. She also says she was taken by putty patrollers. Not putties. Putty patrollers.
Right, well, they're not on that first-name basis with them yet.
Right, which they become because I'm on a first-name basis with putties. Because they just have been... That's what they call them in most of my Power Ranger memories, is just putties. That's just a little note I had down because it seemed a little out of place.
They're trying putty patrollers out. You know, because they're not sure what to call them yet.
Let's be honest.
Think
Putty Patroller looks a lot cooler on the toy than Putty. Yeah. Also, one putty. How do you spell that?
Putty.
That doesn't look menacing at all.
No.
But if it's a patroller,
well, yeah,
then
just forget it.
Yeah. Because putties looks a little more menacing because a Y is such a cutesy letter. I don't know. It's there's a lot of weird marketing stuff.
But you can dot an I with a heart, so I mean... What?
I didn't make toys.
I'm picturing putties with a heart over the I now.
That's how it's going to be forever, I guess. So they're like, let's teleport to the command center. But of all the luck, they
just want to communicate with them. They want to talk to them. They get the not working noise. Drats.
They're like, let's try to teleport, and then they tried that, and that also doesn't work. They tried to teleport
right at the bar.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ernie is feet from them.
He might have his back to him because he's getting 2 more giant banana splits.
He's only going to get one at a time. Anyway, don't worry, though, because Billy has a solution.
I can't believe this is this early.
I can't either. I can't believe this was in the show. I still can't believe this is a part of the show. So they go back to Billy's garage, and Billy shows them the rad bug.
It's rad.
It's rad.
It's so rad.
Zach asks, what's so rad about it? A valid question, Mr. Taylor. Here's what's so rad about it. It goes from 0 to 3,000 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds.
That is rad.
If I held my phone up as high as I could and dropped it, it would be at 1,500 miles an hour by the time my phone hit the ground.
Here's another thing I like, is when they get there. This may just be bad acting, but I don't think it is. Because Billy's like, it's the rad bug, and Trini's like, the rad bug? Like,
she's acting a little too impressed with it. Oh, impressed / indifferent. Because let's be honest, she checked the tires on this thing when Billy was putting it together.
Right.
Because that's what they were doing when they were just in the garage by themselves. We'll make it out.
Snogging.
That's a gross. I know it's a British term. It's really gross.
It is a little gross.
Like, I don't know. I feel like that's something you would do, like when you push a kid down in dirty snow. You just snogged them. You know?
Or it's a weird, like, snort kind of noise.
It's nothing.
You made a snog.
It's nothing fun. Nothing you would want to do to Trini anyway.
No.
But
it's just rude.
Yeah, it'd be rude. She's a lady.
It'd be rude to her in her handkerchief pants this week.
She was wearing handkerchief pants and a choker. Because nothing says the 90s like a choker.
No.
Okay, and there's I skipped ahead a little bit on accident on my notes. Oh yeah, so they get in the rad bug. It's Trini, Jason, and Kimberly in the back. Zach is shotgun. Billy's driving. Trini should have been in the front, but it's only because of stupid headcanon. It's not whatever. Who cares? It's so trivial. Then they drive. As soon as they leave the garage, it cuts to the Japanese footage, which I didn't know it was in the Japanese footage because I never paid attention to that before. So this is like in ZU Ranger. Yeah. And now it's in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and that's the only reason it's there, because it plays like a weirdly big role later on.
Right.
Basically what it does is it goes so fast that it disappears and then ends up flying. And then they flew. And if there's any super math wizards that can calculate distance and time and whatever, not me, email us and tell us how long it took, how far the command center is based on the mileage and the time that it takes them to get there. Because it took them at least 2.8 seconds.
Right.
So 3,000 miles an hour.
But it wasn't going 3,000 miles an hour the whole time. It got up to 3,000 miles an hour.
In 2.8 seconds. It's negligible at best.
Right.
So if you're going 60 miles an hour, that's a mile a minute.
Yeah.
If you're going 600 miles an hour, that's
a mile every 10 seconds.
That's a mile every 10 seconds. If you're going 6,000 miles an hour, that's a mile every
second.
No, less than a second. Like half a second.
Right.
So that means that they should have been there in 1 second. Because they're going 3,000 miles an hour. That might be totally wrong, but like it took them like 5-10 seconds. So where is
definitely not in the Angel Grove desert.
Like, yeah.
That's for sure. Unless they went the long way.
Right, well, they overshot it, so they had to loop back around. Like, oh, no, there. Billy, just keep going. We'll be back in 10 seconds. We cut back to... We don't cut anywhere.
No, they're in the bug.
They're in the bug. And then they just
rounds the corner outside of Billy's house.
Flies. Drops into that weird tunnel.
That's why the tunnel's on top of the command center.
It's for the rad bug.
It's for the rad bug.
Zordon knew. He's a smart guy.
They also teleport into there.
You're correct.
So
you are correct. So they land in there, and Alpha's like, "It's an old car." That's it. Doesn't pull out any guns.
Well, it's making like woo woo, like the intruder alert alarm.
Yeah, because it just fell in through. It's a giant car.
But Alpha's just kind of like he's hunched over a little, and he goes, "Huh?"
Well, he's trying to fix the teleportation grid because it's been down for like an hour.
Okay, here's. The rad bug drops in, has that weird like frozen footage before it's live footage again.
Yep.
And then Alpha's like, it's an old car. And then the Rangers come out. And Alpha says, Rangers, how did you get here? Teleportation and communication has been down forever.
Idiot, we got out of this car. We used this car to get here, Alpha. I mean, let's give Alpha the benefit of the doubt. How did you get this car here is probably what he meant. Whatever. They're there now. It's fine.
Bill, I've been working on this car just in case all of technology fails.
Yeah, because Billy... Okay, if Billy wasn't a Power Ranger, if he didn't have these monsters taking up all of his time for the next 4 or 5 years of his life, can you imagine the technological advancements the Earth would have? All of our cars would fly
at 3,000 miles an hour.
We would be able to do so much stuff, but instead Billy had to fight monsters. Ruined the Earth. Thanks, Zordon. You're the real monster here.
I know. Let's not blame Zordon.
Zordon's the one who picked Billy, okay?
Zordon didn't pick Billy. Billy was destined to be
There's
a Power
no destiny because he said recruit.
You're
He
right,
didn't say, hey, which 5 kids did Destiny want?
Which one have these 5 auras? It's them, I bet.
Anyway, Kimberly goes, Zordon, they kidnapped a 12-year-old girl. So, the Power Rangers are supposed to be seniors in the first season. But as time goes on, they keep being freshmen still.
Yeah.
No, you heard that right. They're supposed to be seniors, but then they keep being freshmen. Because what happens is they don't graduate until Turbo.
Right.
So,
which is 4 seasons.
4 seasons from now.
Because it's the 5th season. Yeah,
Yeah.
they graduate
Pretty early on
like
in Turbo.
4 or 5
Yeah.
episodes in. Yeah.
So
unless all this is happening in 1 year.
So if Maria is...
Every single school day is a monster attack in Angel Grove.
Yeah. That's why it aired 5 days a week.
Right. Not on weekends.
Yeah. Because they didn't get attacked on weekends because Rita's not... She's not cruel.
She's not a monster. She just makes
She
them.
just sends them to Earth. So, but if Maria's 12, then they have to be at least 16. First of all, Billy can drive, so he's 16.
We don't know if he can drive. He can drive the rad bug.
Right, but like his parents just gave him a car. Like,
Maybe
hey,
Maybe he just took bug parts from a junkyard
and
because
just
he's
assembled
Billy.
them. That could happen, but I feel like his parents are like, "Here's a car, Billy. Congratulations on your driver's test because you're 16. You're definitely 16."
And in future episodes, when they're freshmen still,
again,
I know for a fact Aisha has a car because it gets stolen in an episode.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a weird. I mean, they're supposed to be freshmen, but maybe that's sort of like someone offhandedly said that,
right?
And now it's considered canon, even though it isn't. And maybe they just, maybe it's just monsters,
it's just
man.
a bad year,
yeah.
man. I don't know.
It's just a long year. Every day that would get tedious. But I mean, maybe that's just how it was for them. Maybe that was their lives. It's no wonder they didn't stay Power Rangers forever.
Right.
They had other stuff they needed to do, like live their life, take a nap.
That's
once.
what Zordon says in season 3.
Yeah.
To
people,
a ranger that leaves.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but everybody knows who I'm talking about.
I mean, you can Google it, but yeah, you're right. So anyway, it's time, man. Time is weird.
That was serious talking points.
Also, there's a lot of voiceovers because it goes back to some. I don't know why I wrote this, but like I think Zordon's doing a voiceover and it's just like outside the command center or like someone is talking and it was just a lot of voiceovers. So I made my notes. But here's the real note, and this is only for people who know how hard it is to make movies and TV and stuff, specifically in the lighting department. The command center is a lighting nightmare. Everything is blinking, everything moves, everything flashes.
There's lights in every different direction.
Everywhere you look, that whole 15 to 20 foot circle of computers is littered with lights. And there's like ones at the top that literally just keep going in circles.
Yeah.
Which are
those
lights.
are the alarm lights that never stop spinning.
No, not those. Not the ones in like in the diamond
and
thing.
like the prisms.
Yeah, like at the top of like the console, there's just like a row of thin lights.
Oh, okay.
That just is constantly like they're 6 inches apart and they just move. But like
it's because technology.
That's a light you can get. That's like a Christmas light.
Yeah, there's also the string of white Christmas lights behind Zordon.
Yeah, because you gotta light that somehow. You can't just have it be black. You gotta break up the space.
Right.
Anyway,
sure.
but the thing that makes it a nightmare is like all of this has to go to different distribution boxes because like you can only put out so much power per distribution box, right. And like whoever the best boy was on this show, I salute you. The nightmare. I'm gonna have a stress nightmare about having to light this command center tonight. It's gonna be terrible. Anyway,
Because we're only halfway through the actual episode right now.
we're towards the end of my notes.
Okay.
So
We haven't even talked about how Maria's strung up in the old factory.
we're getting there. And I also have a question that might take us on a frickin' Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. They get back in the rad bug, and they drive to...
Drive this time.
They drive on the ground, and they make... must be the lots of VO. When they're... It's just the car moving, and they're explaining the area.
Here's...
And
this
why
bug
they're
can go
driving.
3,000 miles an hour in less than 3 seconds. They're driving.
going
They're driving
40,
through the desert
45.
at 35, 40 miles an hour. Billy's like, if we're on the ground, we'll be less visible. Maybe we can get the drop on Rita.
You know what's really hard to see? Something going 3,000 miles an hour.
Rita knows they're coming.
Yeah,
Because it immediately cuts to Rita going, aha! And then Goldar, Squat, and Babu are getting ready to fight them.
Yeah, because she's got them on the viewing globe. They're stupid.
No, she's looking through her telescope. Rita
Right.
doesn't have a viewing globe.
That's her viewing globe. It's made from the same thing.
Yes.
It's made from the
I'll accept your terms.
comes from the same place. Same guy made two, and then Rita got one, and I almost called him Zandora, and Zordon got the other one. Anyway, also the penny farthing returns. She was just riding her penny farthing.
Right. Well, no, this is when they start to fight. It's
Yes.
a little bit later.
Yeah. Because they go to the cave. Okay, yeah, this is what happens. They have to go to the cave.
I don't think we touched on this because I missed it. I blinked my ears or something. I don't know what happened. But Zordon explained what the power eggs were, and I don't remember. They're like a universe and a couple of eggs.
The morphing... I'm hoping this is what they said. Because the alternative is a swear word that I don't want to say while we're recording.
Right.
The morphing masters, I think is what he called them. Because the alternative starts with a B and is not masters, but is close.
I don't think he said that.
That's what I heard. And I was like, what?
Is that why you looked at me?
Yes.
Like, what?
And I was like, did he say that? But I didn't want
That's when I was blinking. It's when my ears flapped. I don't know.
Yeah, the Morphing Masters created these two eggs, and that's where all the universal power is, and maybe they're a way to, like, hack the morphing grid?
Maybe.
I don't really remember, because I was so taken back by the fact that I thought they swore on Power Rangers. And I was like, what? But yes, that's what happened. He did explain something about them. I'm going to Google it later so I can find out, and I'll text you.
All right.
So they morph while they're driving in the rad bug.
They stop and then morph.
But they didn't get out. They were in the car and they morphed.
And because when you morph, it puts you where you need to be. It put them out of the car.
Yeah. Sure.
So
absolutely.
instead of opening the door, because it's a coupe, so they would have to flip the seats up.
Can you imagine the Power Rangers getting out of there? Jason bonks his helmet. He's not even in the front seat. He's supposed to be the leader. Like, that's not going to be very intimidating. They're going to laugh him out of town.
Oh, at one point when they're flying, there's a shot of them in the car, and it's kind of moving. And Billy's just like, Zach, don't touch anything on the panel. Zach's like, what?
He was looking for
an eject button. He wanted out.
Or he was looking for the stereo.
Because Kimberly was in the back.
Doesn't mean Zach doesn't also look. California Love just dropped, right? Maybe it's gonna get some radio play. Maybe it was No Diggity he was looking for. I can just keep naming one shot wonders of 97 pop. I won't though. Not that Tupac was a one-hit wonder. Let me back up. California Love was not a one-hit wonder, but it was one of those 90s songs that sticks out above all the rest of Tupac's other ones. They're driving, and I didn't remember this for a second because I was like, where did the factory come in? They're driving to the cave where the eggs are.
Yes.
Because the bad guys are already there. Squat wants to eat the eggs because he's, obviously. So they get them, and that's when the Power Rangers attack, and they manage to get it away from them. I guess I passed out for a couple seconds.
Basically, I want to say it was even Goldar, but I don't remember. One of the Power Rangers kicks a bad guy who then drops the eggs
into the ocean.
Yes.
Angel Grove confirmed to be coastal.
Yes.
Or they drove there in the rad bug pretty quick. We're about to get to a really weird thing.
All right, I love the weird things.
Okay. They're holding Maria at the old factory.
Yep.
She is dangling from a rope above
the ground.
The shark pit.
She's just dangling.
She's just dangling.
I don't think she's above anything.
Maybe she's above sharks. We don't know. We'll never know. Unless they show it on Zeo Ranger. Anyway, she's just dangling. The Power Rangers get in their Zords to drive to the old factory.
You're right.
They get in their Zords, they put it in tank mode for a split second.
Because Alpha tells them, Maria's at the old factory, and Jason's just like, got it, we need dinosaurs right now. Because I remember thinking, nobody got big yet.
Yeah, they get in the Megazords just to drive to the old factory. They get into tank mode, they turn into the full-blown Megazord, and then presumably just walk.
Well, the tank mode footage show them driving there, and then when they get there...
Because they had time to kill.
They stand up.
Sure, I'll believe that. But Chunky Chicken, who is now wearing a red hat, I don't think he was earlier in the episode.
I didn't even notice that he was now.
I was like, oh, he's a grandma, because he's in the Red Hat Club.
And I was wondering when they made him why he was part Brutus Beefcake.
Right, that's a big scissors. So he could cut this rope.
So he could cut
his whole life. That's why they picked him, because he's the only one who can cut a rope. So they cut the rope. The hand juts out, the giant Megazord hand, and catches Maria.
Right.
And they pull her back, and they're
Which I hope it caught her quick. It must have, because if she fell long enough, even a giant steel hand is going to kill her.
Well, unless there's some give to it, Like,
right, all right.
You go, ooh.
Well, she just kind of went, though.
I also thought I saw wires, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I just want there to be wires. I want there to be a real giant hand catching this child so bad that I saw wires in my head. But then Billy's like, "Oh, get the thing here,
the rad bug.
The rad bug.
Don't just call it the thing.
Right,
it's the rad bug."
I keep forgetting that because I forgot it existed until this episode. Like, get the rad bug. We can control it remotely.
Yep.
Somehow. They didn't explain it earlier, but whatever. It also goes 3,000 miles an hour. I'll believe anything you want to tell me about this stupid rad bug. It's got a giant pump on it.
That's what makes it go so fast. It pumps up like air pump shoes.
Oh, right, like Reeboks. It's using Reebok technology to go 3,000 miles an hour. Maria gets out of there in the car. She jumps in the car, which...
Well, they tell her, they're like, get in the bug, it'll bring you to safety. And she's like, you don't have to tell me twice. And she jumps into the automatically remote-controlled car with a driver in it.
Whatever. That's happened for years and everything with a no person. It still happens, Like if you watch things with like Transformers, whenever Bumblebee's just driving around, you can see a dude in there sometimes. Right. It happens. So she makes the monster grow, and the monster has the power to cut reality. Like, cut a strip in it and use that to teleport. He cuts a hole
in the fabric of space.
Yeah.
With his Brutus Beefcake shears.
Oh, man. So they managed to, catch him. He's, jumping around a little bit. And they managed to catch him and just sock him in the face. which totally cuts off any momentum he had. He can't get back his footing. They're like, where's the power sword? And I did make a note. It is the power sword. It's not the mega sword. I feel like they missed an opportunity because Jason's is also the power sword.
This is just the giant version of Jason's sword.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's made.
It looks completely different. Maybe it's the power sword's power sword Zord.
Oh, like the power sword is. All the weapons are in it.
Maybe.
I'll buy it. I like that. Then they kill him. They cut him into bits, or just the 2 bits. They usually only do one swipe, and they explode. Then we go back to the moon, to Club Bandora. and this is when I kind of realized that Babu is my favorite henchman.
Okay.
Because the way that he tries to get her to stop yelling at him is the most feeble. He can't do anything about it, and he knows that, and so he doesn't even try. Because Squat's like, I didn't mean to. Oh no, And then Goldar's trying to blame them, but Babu's just like, well, he knows it was part of his. It was mostly, he was partly to blame. And there's nothing he's going to say that's going to make her less mad at him. And she's like, then obviously she's got a headache because she has a tumor.
Goldar blames it on Finster because he made such a terrible monster.
Right, yes,
but I don't know if Goldar thought that through because Rita picks
the monsters.
But Finster's like, no,
put it.
And I noticed in this episode that Finster's braid ponytail looks like the top of an onion.
Does it?
It does.
I'll watch out for that
He's
next
got like
time.
an onion head.
Then we go back to Earth in the juice bar where Ernie and some 90s mall babes are watching TV, where an Angel Award was given to local kids who set up a recycling drive to keep trash out of the dump or the landfill.
Oh, I missed that.
Is this Kimberly and Trini?
Yes.
I'll believe that. Because I was like, oh, they did do that. But also, maybe they didn't, you know?
I wasn't fully paying attention at this point.
Oh, you checked out. Oh, way to commit to the podcast.
I didn't check out. I just checked out. All right?
You just weren't there.
What I thought that newscaster said is that they gave the award to the Power Rangers for saving this girl.
Wrong, because then they talked about the Power Rangers, how they saved a girl, and how she's now the most popular girl in her class.
Oh, right. And all those dorky boys. She has to fight them off with a stick.
Tripping over themselves. And now is when we get to part 2. Well, not yet. Ernie has veggie chili that he just made.
Oh.
That Kimberly runs over to get. And now we get to part 2 of what is Kimberly wearing this episode. Where she's wearing a tied-off pink shirt, sleeveless.
Okay.
A hairband, and striped short shorts, which I think is basically what she wore in the first episode.
All right.
Except I think they were jean shorts, but she changed. I don't think this is a different day. I think she just felt gross after fighting a chicken. Right. She's like, I was in that suit, I was sweaty.
Not just any chicken. That was a chunky chicken. Gross.
She's like, I was in the suit, I was sweaty, I need to take a shower. And I'm not going to put my old clothes back on. Gross. So she got new clothes. Nobody else is wearing different clothes as far as I could tell.
And then she holds up this chili.
Yes.
Jake, explain to the people.
What's
going through your mind?
What's going through my mind is that I'm trying to find a way to create a time travel device. So I can time travel back to 1993 and marry Amy Jo Johnson. So if I just stop existing, that's what happened to me.
That's fair. I will have to stop this because I can't do this alone, obviously. Because I am terrible.
She's holding it like a waitress with one hand.
She's using two hands, but she's also she's got her hip out. She's posing with it.
Yeah, she's doing a number on me. Is what's happening. She's like, come and get it because this veggie chili's on the house because it's fresh.
And get it.
And then,
of course, that's what she said.
She didn't. She? I think that's what she actually said.
Whoever wants some of Ernie's vegetable chili, come and get it. That's basically what she said.
Oh, I just shortened it because, look, I had blinders on. I don't care about
you were ready to come and get it.
I don't care about that chili. I don't care about who I got to fight to get there. Not the point of the episode. So then, Bulk is eating a banana split. Skull is leaning against the wall with a salt shaker. For whatever reason.
They weren't in this episode until
this is their only appearance. They literally showed up to this episode to get chili dumped on them. And that's it. Because it landed on Bulk. And then Kimberly said, it's supposed to be on the house, Bulk, not on you. Like apologizing.
Bulk and Skull didn't even say anything in this episode.
Dump chili. That's it.
They were there for 30 seconds to get chili dumped on them. Yep. And that was it.
Freeze frame.
That is a waste of Jason Narby and Paul Schreier.
Here's what I think this was. This is the 5th time this day they've had stuff dropped on them.
They do look agitated.
So they're like, we don't have to talk. We don't have to do anything.
Because any other time, Bulk would have been all about that chili. So there's two reasons he wasn't.
He would have knocked it out of Kimberly's hands onto himself.
There's two reasons he wasn't into this chili. One, vegetable chili, ew, who cares?
Right.
Two, I've had so much crap dumped on me today that I just want to sit here and eat my ice cream.
I want to sit here and eat this ice cream until someone dumps chili on me and it ruins the ice cream.
Poor Bulk.
And this concludes our episode of Power Rangers Big Sisters. It was a little more rocky than usual. Like, it was a little...
Oh, I want to point out how good the soundtrack to Power Rangers is.
Oh, yeah. I like this...
How on point the music during fight scenes and stuff is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Saban, before he got Power Rangers, he produced Power Rangers, he did music for shows.
I didn't know that.
He didn't make television. He was not a producer, not a writer, director, nothing. He just made music for shows. So that's why I think the Power Rangers music is pretty on point.
Right.
Because that's the one thing that he definitely knows about.
Except for the Green Ranger song, which is going to be...
Gonna get you.
Even though he's not here.
I'm hoping that in Super Mega Force, when he's a Green Ranger, it says
play
that.
that one again.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited to hear the beginning of the White Ranger song. Hopefully that comes in Super Mega Force. Because it's really good.
I don't remember the...
It's like, oh... It's really good.
I don't remember it.
Well, you will.
Oh, man, now I'm excited.
Because we're like 2 seasons away. We're getting there.
Just one. Because
Is it season 2?
Season 2 is White Ranger. And season 3, but season 2 is where he
The
comes
Green
in.
Ranger is a very tragic character in Power Rangers.
Yes. Josh, also, I should point out right now, Josh is wearing
Oh, I am.
a shirt that is half White Ranger helmet, half Green Ranger helmet with the Dragon Dagger and Saba crossed.
Yep. Bought it at Wizard World Austin.
I think it's a Wizard World exclusive. Not necessarily Austin,
But Wizard World convention, yes.
So that's our episode. This kind of went long. Hopefully there's enough to cut that I can keep it.
We went on
keep
a
it
few
down.
tangents. I'm sure you could trim it down.
Yeah, and then there's like kind of a big gap in the beginning.
But
So
a lot of
yeah.
those tangents were funny, so maybe you don't want to.
Maybe I won't. We'll see.
I don't know.
Sorry if it's super long. Not sorry if it's funny. But yeah, that's the episode. The next one, I believe, is I Guy.
It is.
So that's cool.
I, as in your eye on your face.
Yes.
Guy.
As in I, Robot, or I, Frankenstein, which is going to be terrible.
It doesn't look great.
Also, speaking of terrible things,
Oh!
goodness! Today we watched Jason David Frank's movie, The Dragon Warrior. And it's bad.
Mr. David Frank. I love you in a platonic way.
Yes, let's get this out of the way. Jason David Frank is a really cool guy.
We've met him. We met him twice at Wizard World Austin.
You can only meet somebody once, but you're right.
He met us twice because he
He didn't remember us. No, he meets. Well, to be fair, he meets 1 million more people every day than we do.
Right.
So yeah, he's a really nice guy. He's super enthusiastic about Power Rangers. He's one of the few that are still like
He owns it.
he knows.
He was a Power Ranger. He's proud.
This movie was a bad movie because it was supposed to be a video game. It was the plot for a video game turned into a movie, but not like a new video game where they're cinematic, like a 16-bit Secret of Mana,
Like an SNES game.
Yeah.
It's like go save. No, he doesn't even need to save the girl until
the end,
until the last 20 minutes.
Look, Act 2 comes 15 minutes before the end of the movie.
So,
Act 3 is literally 2 minutes long, less than.
so we have another podcast idea, and we're probably gonna just review this movie for that. But real quick.
It's bad. Whoever wrote this, you should be ashamed of yourself. I want you to turn in your Writers Guild card right now. Whoever directed this, not bad in terms of direction.
There was just the first fight scene was god awful because of all the camera zooming in and out.
Yeah, there's like it's called like vintaging or vignetting.
Okay.
It used to be a more complicated process, but most newer versions of Final Cut or iMovie have a feature where you can just highlight an area and make it do this, where it will jump in and out real quick, and it looks bad.
It was awful.
Especially because he's fighting just swords, I think.
Nope, this was before that. This was when he got to... I want to talk about the plot real quick. Here's what I got from it. Bad guy attacks the beach.
Yeah, yes.
Jason David Frank sees the aftermath and goes, "What is this?" Brutus tells him, "The bad guy did it. You have to go kill him."
Shikaka,
the bad guy. What else? I called him something else too. I don't remember what it was.
his name is Shikata.
It's like Shukata.
But every time they said Shikaka. Anyway, this is not about Dragon Warrior. I just want to say it's really bad. Jason David Frank wasn't terrible in it because he was literally just doing the best with what he could.
You could tell he was there to,
But like, a lot of people didn't care about this movie, and to be fair, my problem with the plot is almost wrapped up at the end. It's almost a reason, but then it isn't. So I have nothing good to say, so I won't say any more.
All right.
But this has been Podcast. I have been Jake.
I'm always going to be Josh.
On Twitter, we're Morphin Grid. On Tumblr, we are morphingrid.tumblr.com, and our email is littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com. Those are all the places you can find the Morphin Grid.
Yes.
You can find Josh and I through those places.
Yep.
You don't need to.
No, you can't really find me through Tumblr.
No.
I have one, but
it's got like 2 things on it, whatever. I'm always on Tumblr. I'm not always.
I just haven't committed to it yet. I'll get there.
I like the platform. I think it's a really user friendly. But anyway, we're gonna be back next week with I Guy.
Yes.
Next Monday. So stay tuned for that. We are on iTunes. We plug the iTunes version a lot because I like it the best, and so that's what I'm used to. So that's what it is. You can also download the direct file somehow, and
if we start, our Tumblr is naked right now, but as soon as
Yes.
we start posting, we'll have direct links on it.
yeah. So if you are on iTunes and you do like this,
If you're listening to this right now, you've gotten this through iTunes,
or you did a lot.
or you
of
really
Kung
wanted
Fu.
to listen to us talk about Power
You
Rangers.
did a lot of Kung Fu because I think you have to go to the iTunes to get to the blog spot where where the direct
Yeah.
downloads are.
I think so.
So in either case, thanks for listening. If you liked it, leave a review.
Please leave a review.
Yes, please.
I really want to know what you guys think, even if you hate us.
Yes. Nothing. I have nothing else to say.
That about sums it up. Yeah.
So
that's a wrap.
So we'll see you next week.
Until then,
may the power protect you. I'm not going to try to match my sentence. I'm just going to start over. Jake, you can fix this later.